Welcome to creating your financial magic cash box. So you're going to need to gather your items, so some kind of wooden box that you can scribe into. Acrylic paints are excellent for decorating your box. You might like to go glitter as well. And any other items like crystals, herbs, inks, whatever you feel that you need to. So gather all your items. They will need to be consecrated. And then what you need to do is set your intention. And using the Mercury and the Jupiter cameo is create your sigils. You also need to become familiar with the planetary symbols of Mercury and Jupiter, and also the cameo symbols of Mercury and Jupiter, because you're going to be scribing them all over your cash box, and also you'll be scribing the mercurial symbols on your cash that you're putting into the box as well. So for scribing your cash box, you can either use a blunt instrument and a lot of pressure, or you can use your athame. I used an athame for mine. My wrist was not happy about that the next day, but it worked. Ian used a Phillips screwdriver for his. And on the inside of my box, because I couldn't quite reach down to scribe with my athame, I actually used a marker pen. Because the inside is for Mercury, I use a silver marker pen. Now you can use runes if you like. As long as you've got the Jupiter symbols on the outside and the Mercury symbols on the inside, you can use all these things at your disposal. Now, how I did my cash box is I had a base colour. So the outside of my cash box I wanted it to be green. Some of the base colour was yellow. And then I did green washes with glitter included over the top of that. The inside was a white base and then like a grey silver colour that I washed over it on the inside for Mercury. So you build up the layers and let them dry in between. If you're using colour washes, if you just want to paint a flat colour like Ian did, he just painted his black and then decorated it afterwards, then it will actually take less time to dry. But because I love doing the washes, so that's why I did that. And the colour that you paint the outside of your box very much depends on what says abundance for you. For me, it's green and gold. For Ian, it was black and red. So depending on your culture, I guess, would depend on what colours work for you. It could be silver, it could be gold, green, brown, red, black. So take the time to work that out for yourself, before you start painting, because it needs to resonate with you. That's what we always say about magic. It has to resonate with you. Okay. So with the washes, what actually happened, which was really interesting, is where it wasn't quite dry in between washes, I actually ended up with this like mottled effect on the box, which was very, very cool when it finally dried. And when it does finally dry, you will actually be able to see the scribings that you've made with your athame or with your screwdriver, whatever it is that you're using. You can't really see them while you're putting the paint on, but they do come clear once the paint has dried. Okay, so don't be worried about that. If you think, oh my God, where have my symbols gone? I can't see them. You will, don't worry. They will come back. So what I really find really cool about mine is when it was finished, the inside of it actually looks like a vault, which is quite interesting. When I look at it, it's like, wow, it looks like a safe or something. So there's a picture of Ian's one. As you can see, he did the flat black paint and then he decorated it quite intricately with what have we got there? It's red. I think he used a bit of green and a little bit of blue as well. And that's just marker pen. Some of it's paint, some of it's marker pen. So you can mix and match what you do. On the inside of Ian's financial cash box is very ornate. Mine wasn't nearly quite so pretty. But, you know, what's interesting is that we both have very different styles of doing these things. So make it your own, okay? So there's the finished items. The one in the middle for our advanced switches, that's Ian's Baphomet box, which corresponds to health, wealth, and wisdom, or stealth, as you might have heard him call it. So once the boxes are dried, I went round the edges with a gold marker pen again. Just I don't know, it just felt right to do that. So always be guided. And I also went over all the scribings, all the symbols on the outside with a gold marker pen as well. Now, if you wanted to keep it a little bit more on the down low, then don't do that. You know, keep the symbols secret if you like, yeah. Because they'll still work. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean they won't work. Yeah, you know, they'll work whether you can see them or not. So yeah, I went a little bit crazy decorating mine because I love sigils. I just love them. They're fantastic. And as you can see, I've got the Jupiterian Camia and planetary symbols on there, and that's my sigil for my Soul's Desire on there as well. And you can sort of see the runes that I scribed with pen. I didn't do those with my Athame. I did them with pen only because my wrist was screaming at me by that point. So I did them with a pen. That's why they're slightly wonky, because my wrist was not a happy bunny. Also, I've got the Jupiter, Camia and planetary symbols on the bottom of the box as well. So don't forget the bottom of the box. Okay, very important. And don't leave any corner, no part of the box is unmagical. So get in there, yeah? So on the inside of the box, make sure that all the little nooks and crannies are magically charged, if you like, yeah? So what I did with this one, there's Ian's one, look. He stuck, what Ian did with his is he stuck, he's made it a bit like a Ouija board type thing. So he's used those little stickers, the little number and letter stickers that he's used for that, which I just think is really, really cool. So you can use as many of your own sigils on there as you want. Doesn't have to be just one. I just did one on the top, but Ian did quite a few on the sides of the box. And as you can see, he's got the Jupiter on the bottom there. Very cool. We really enjoyed making this. It was a 7-day process. So spread it over 7 days and do, you know, a bit every day. That's what we did. And it worked out really well. And it keeps you really focused as well. Yeah. So this was just the... As you can see, you know, Ian's gone right in there. And every piece of that box is Magickal, yeah, and he's also put the red fabric, because for him red resonates to abundance, that kind of really deep blood red color. So he's got that in the bottom. So you can add fabric if you want to. You could cover the whole thing in fabric if you really wanted to, with the scribings underneath, yeah. So feel free to make it yours. Yeah, You could, if you wanted to, you could use a metal box, but what I would say about that is it's going to be a lot more difficult to rub in the oils and get them to soak in, because obviously they're just going to slide off the metal. So wooden boxes are preferable, yeah, because the oil will just soak in and it becomes part of it, yeah. So this is the list of herbs. So again, that would be unique to you. This picture is my own personal talisman for my soul's desire. So you can add that in as well. And I've teamed that with a piece of scapulite as well. So that works really nicely together. So I'm kind of in love with this cash box, which is kind of where you want it, yeah, because you want it to be part of your everyday experience. So the goal is to work with it every day, yeah. Okay, so this is the herbs and the crystals that we gathered. So you've got, what have you got in there? Basil, cinnamon, oak moss, vetiver, frankincense. What else have we got there? Oh, what's the dog doing? Cinquefoil is in there as well. But again, you know, make it personal to you. So work with the herbs and the items that say, you know, abundance to you. Even the crystals are personal to us, because what I've done is taken our sun sign, moon sign, ascending, if you've got it, along with, you know, crystals, general crystals for drawing and also keeping money, so wealth, yeah. So think about these things. Make copious amounts of lists if you have to, yeah. But, you know, get it to a fine art. So I've also got tiger's eye there and cinnabar. I've also got sapphire in there, topaz, sapphire and topaz are Mercury and Jupiter. So we've got some oak moss there. What's that one? Oh, dill. Galangal to speed things up a little bit. Galangal's amazing for speeding up your magic work. But you only need a pinch. Okay? So if you're adding it to your herbs, you only need a pinch. Okay? Same with cinnamon. You only need a little cinnamon. You don't need a whole lot of it. Okay. So again, these were all consecrated. The whole lot. I consecrated the whole lot all at once, because I'm a bit like that. And then we ground down the herbs into a powder so that we could use it in the box, but we can also use it for incense. So we do actually have a nice big bowl full of this amazing incense, which combines money drawing and wealth. Okay, those are the two things that work together if you're looking for financial magic, rather than just drawing money to you, which is then going out again. If you want to store it, save it and spend it, you know, and use it in, you know, like as an investment, if you like, in your business or your lifestyle, then there you can see there's the bowl of incense. It's amazing. It is so nice. You need both Mercury and Jupiter on your side, basically. That's why we're using both of those planets. Yeah. If you know Kundalini mantra, you can use the mantra Hara, because that, when you do that with that particular mudra, you are actually activating Mercury and Jupiter with your mudra. So you can use that as well if you want to, yeah, over your cash box. So this is the financial altar that we set up in one of the little spaces that I managed to jig things around a bit, so we had a bit of space. So on the top was that candle, incense, and the business mojo bag. And then we've got two spaces there for the cash boxes, and then underneath We have, there we go, some amazing crystals, manifestation crystals there. Manifestation quartz. We've got the calcite, pyrite, fluorite. We've got 2 natural citrine. We've also got some apatite and some green aventurine in there, and a little conch shell as well. Not conch shell. What's the other one that begins with C? Can't think. So when all that is done, we mix the oils as well. So we didn't just do herbs, we did some oils. You want money drawing oil on the outside for Jupiter, and you want money keeping oil or wealth oil on the inside. Yeah, so you can store it, gather it, and then spend it, okay? On the cash that you're putting in there, you're drawing 4 mercurial symbols on each side. So there's 8 on each note. So it can take a little while if you've got a lot of money to put in there. And when you're rubbing the oil in, make sure you rub it in well to the sigils that you've created on the box and inside the box. So then once that's done, once you've oiled the inside and outside, lay your herbs in there, and then anything else, so whether it's crystals, whether it's talisman, whatever it is. So Ian's got some very different things in there to what I've got. So it's personal to you, okay? Don't forget that. Because if it doesn't resonate with you, then it's not going to work, is it? Okay. So just bear that in mind. And then today, so when you do the ritual will be separate, by the way. That will be in a document, just so you know. On a Thursday morning, set up your altar. Gather all your bits and pieces together. Yeah, so we've got incense there, candle, which has been anointed with both oils. We also anointed our feet with both oils. We've got the cash boxes, the cash, the incense, words. And what we also did is we charged the boxes with Jupiter and Mercury tuning forks as well. And I have to say, the ritual was very powerful. Very powerful. When I was holding my hand over the cash box and the cash, the energy that was coming off my hands was immense. So anyway, enjoy the ritual. I really, really